Recording you, please mention your name in the chat box. Welcome all of you once again. And as you can see on your screen, the part 2 from unit number 8, Reach for the Top, Maria Sharapova. And this is our English textbook in English for class 9, Beehive. So, you know who is Maria Sharapova. You might have studied about her and also might have searched on internet some more details. I'll also share with you the details there from Wikipedia. But let's see brief account of her life given here. So part 2, Maria Sharapova. Those who have textbook, you may turn over the page. It is 104. Those who don't have may access it here from the screen I have shared with you all. Are you able to see it on your screen, dear students? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
So Maria Sharapova, before you read, a Russian girl, Maria Sharapova, reached the summit of women's tennis since she was barely 18. As you read about her, see if you can draw a comparison between her and Santosh Yadav. Right? So both of the ladies, those who achieved the highest success in their field, one in mountaineering, Santosh Yadav, and this is in tennis, Maria Sharapova. Even in India, you know, P.T. Usha, then recently tennis players. Do you know? Can you name some of them from India? Yes, dear students. Women tennis player in India. Can you name some? Even you might have watched some of the movies. Like in cricket, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, the untold story you have watched, right? But about women also in different fields, there are some movies based on their life. Can you share some of them? No? Or you can tell from or across the world also. The women tennis players like Serena Williams, you know, Maria Sharapova is there, Simona Halep, Venus Williams, Caroline, then Steffi, Naomi, Petra. There are many in the world, but especially in India, I want. Can you name some of them?
Sania Mirza.
Yes, Sania Mirza, and that's it. Ankita Raina, Karman Kaur Thandi, Rutuja Bhosle, Nirupama Sanju, Pranjala Edlapalli, Riya Bhatia, Mahak Jain, Rushmi Chakrabarti. There are many.
Zil Desai.
Yes, there are many dear students, right? And here we are studying about one of them across the world, a Russian tennis player, Maria Sharapova, right? So would you like to know more about her before we proceed? Just brief information I'll try to show you with you. Here it is. Can you see her pictures, images, and brief account that you can see here, her website, and also from Wikipedia, this much information that I have highlighted. Even she is there on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Akansha, can you please read it? The images are also there. Yes, please here.
So what's the middle name?
Maria Sharapova, Russian tennis player. Maria Yurievna Sharapova is a Russian retired professional tennis player. Yes, continue here.
Although she played under the banner of Russia with the Women's Tennis Association, she has lived in and been a United States permanent resident since 1994. She is born on 19 April 1987 in Nyagan, Russia.
Russia, and she is currently 33 years old. Her height in meters is 1.88, right? And
Yes.
some of the matches that she won and played and got a splendid, huge success in her life are Wimbledon 2004, French Open 2012 and 2014, and she played for her own country, that is Russia, and she was also the part of tour finals, right? If you want to know more, you can also see here details about Maria Sharapova available on Wikipedia. Can you see it here, students? Yes? Is it available?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that W stands for women. It's women. You know, there are different and specific matches separate for gents and separate for ladies. That is men, women. Like we have for our India, men cricket team. Similarly, we have women cricket team also. Do you know? Yes? Yes, dear students, do you know? Likewise, there are the matches played between women and women and men and men. Is this information enough? We'll also watch a video wherein her life has been explained briefly. Some students are still joining. I'm just admitting them all. Meanwhile, you just listen to this activity and try to match, you know, the qualities that they had, Maria Sharapova and also Santosh Yadav. I think we will be able to do this only after we are done with the text, right? But if you can, just go through it. Is it visible to everyone? That how they were similar and how they were different from one another. The most important similarity that they are both successful being women in their fields. One in mountaineering and the other in tennis, right? Here firstly, we'll watch a video now giving an account from Maria Sharapova's life. Would you like to watch it? Yes, dear students, would you like to watch it?
Sir.
Very
Yes,
good.
sir.
Eh,
My goal is to be number one in the world. If it happens, it'd be great. If it doesn't, oh well.
much more difficult for my father, but I was very young and I took up the language very fast, and I was around kids that spoke English. That's, we little children, they speak all the time.
Being number one is an amazing feeling, especially at the age of 18. I never thought a few years looking back that I would achieve it at such a young age, but it's just been very fun and I'm enjoying it.
There's still a long way to go to achieve the full recovery of the territories affected by Chernobyl. Affected communities in Belarus, the Russian Federation, and Ukraine
Dear students, I think you are facing little problems now. You are not getting it continuously. There are some interruptions. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll replay the video with some good quality so that you can watch it well. And I'll also turn off the caption so that you can see, already in the video there are itself the captions given. You can focus on them, right? So that you can understand. I'll play the video again.
My goal is to be number one in the world. If it happens, it would be great. If it doesn't, oh well.
much more difficult for my father, but I was very young and I took up the language very fast, and I was around kids that spoke English. That's, we little children, they speak all the time.
being number one is an amazing feeling, especially at the age of 18. I never thought a few years looking back that I would achieve at such a young age, but it's just been very fun, and I'm enjoying it.
There's still a long way to go to achieve the full recovery of the territories affected by Chernobyl. Affected communities in Belarus, the Russian Federation, and Ukraine continue rebuilding their self-reliance.
I just want to grow as a tennis player. I want to get better. I don't look at pinnacles or results as a resolution. I don't think many of us keep our resolutions anyway, so it's probably not a good way to look at things. But yeah, I have so much experience behind my back, and I kind of know what works and what doesn't. But I still have the mentality and goals ahead of myself.
I did fail the test, and I take full responsibility for it. For the past 10 years, I have been given a medicine called Mildronat by my doctor, by my family doctor. And a few days ago, after I received the ITF letter, I found out that it also has another name of meldonium, which I did not know. It's very important for you to understand that for 10 years, this medicine was not on WADA's ban list, and I had been legally taking the medicine for the past 10 years.
I think that the sport itself is so physical, and it requires us to play about 10 months out of the year. So at the end of the season, it's no surprise that little injuries come up here and there. But as an athlete, we have to support our body, and we have to take care of it, and that's really the most important thing.
I could have all the reasons in the world not to play the sport, but I love competing. There's nothing that gives you that type of adrenaline, and being out in front of thousands of some of your biggest fans in the world, and trying to play the best tennis that you can.
So there are such many women in the world who have been successful in their fields, right? Even yesterday, as we studied about Santosh Yadav, we came to know that what difficulties she came across, even from her own family, how she was not supported initially, but later, as she was so determined about herself, she was supported even by the parents. And finally, she took some decisions on her own and fulfilled them all, right? This is the story now about Maria Sharapova. So do you think these are just imaginary characters, or they are real ones that we can see? And they are there. What do you say?
Real.
Real ones.
Yes. So if they can do such things and succeed in their life, can't we, dear students? Don't we have potential that we can succeed and do anything? So don't these stories encourage and motivate us? Yes, they do motivate us, right? Do you agree? Yes or no? What do you say, dear
Yes, sir.
students? They don't motivate us and encourage and give us confidence that yes, if they can, I can. Right? Am I audible, dear students?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So let's see then some events, some account of her life, and then we'll see the comparison between them as per the table given here with 2 columns. We'll discuss it at last, right? And we'll also try to find out the answers to these questions asked here. So can we begin with this text? What do you say, dear students? Or may I firstly share with you again the summary so that you will get complete idea and it may help you understand the text better. So first I'll share with you the summary. So this write-up, about Maria Sharapova inspires us to remain determined and make sacrifices in order to fulfill our dreams. On 22nd August 2005, you have seen in a video that Maria became the top seeded player in the world women tennis player ranking. She made great sacrifices to achieve her goal. At the tender age of 9, she left her home in Siberia, Russia, to get training in tennis. She went to Florida in USA with her father. Maria suffered a painful separation from her mother for a period of 2 years. She could not see her father too, as he remained busy working, arranging funds for all her needs. And in your video, you have seen that at just the age of 4, she started playing the very first time the tennis. So she was bullied even by her seniors, and being a foreigner, she had to suffer all that patiently. In Bhag Milkha Bhag, if you have watched that movie, you know how the seniors even had troubled him, right? So Maria did not feel depressed. Rather, she was prepared for greater insults too in order to achieve her aim. She did not just pay attention to the troubles she was being given. Yes, not she just tolerated, but she tried to manage with them, adjust with them, right? So her mantra for success is to work hard and face the toughest competition. Although she was trained in the USA, she considers herself to be a Russian and is willing to represent Russia at the Olympics too. So that is what we are going to learn more about her. Even of her favorite hobbies, we will come to know that they are fashion, singing, and dancing. She also loves reading novels written by Arthur. Her love for fashionable evening gowns is also in contrast to her liking for pancakes with chocolate spread and orange flavored aerated drink. And the monetary gain and the fame incurred by Maria are as well deserved. That's what we are going to see in detail here in this text, Maria Sharapova. Would you like to learn, dear students, this text in detail? Right from her childhood, how she became the most successful woman in tennis field. Can we start from the paragraph number 1? This is page number 104. All right. What do you say? Are you there, everyone? I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Do respond.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Right. So there is something disarming about Maria Sharapova. Something at odds with her ready smile and glamorous attire. We find those who are happy, are they really happy, or that happiness is throughout their life? No, dear students. It happens that they must have gone through some difficult times, and so they are today happy. And here, that's what the author in the beginning itself mentions, that she is so charming. She is always showing her smile. She is always there, with some glamorous attire in her life. We have seen in a video. We have watched it well. But has her life been so happy all the time? No. Or was her life all the time so joyous and she enjoyed? No. How her earlier time was really very different. And so here the author says there is something disarming about Maria Sharapova, something at odds. And what is it? Let's see. And that something in her lifted her on Monday, 22nd August 2005 to the world #1 position in women's tennis. And dear students, it was Monday, 22nd August 2005, when she became the #1 tennis player in women's tennis, right? So here we are just understanding her success. But was she successful all the time? Or there were some obstacles like Santosh Yadav had in her earlier life? Let's see. All this happened in almost no time. Poised beyond her years, the Siberian-born teenager took just 4 years as a professional to reach the pinnacle. And the success that she achieved took only 4 years of her efforts and became so successful. If you remember, dear students, how many years did even Santosh Yadav took to succeed in her life and climbing up the Mount Everest twice? How many years did it take? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many years?
4.
Yes. And here, Maria Sharapova also took only 4 years to succeed in her life. Here still we are just discussing about the success that she had. But how she achieved, how she came over the problems, the difficulties in her life, right from her childhood, as Santosh Yadav faced. Let's see here. This is the picture that you can see Maria Sharapova when she won the women's singles at Wimbledon in 2004. Women tennis. Second paragraph. However, the rapid ascent in a fiercely competitive world began 9 years before with a level of sacrifice few children would be prepared to endure. And dear students, here, even if we think that she became successful in just 4 years, but before that, you know, she had gone through various difficulties. And you know, the competition in the world is being so rapid. Everybody is there nowadays with potential, with the same motivation and inspiration to be the part of any races or any competition. And in this, in the fiercely competitive world, it took 9 years before the level of sacrifice few children would be prepared to endure. And it really takes many years for the preparation to be the part of such competitions. But here, this little Maria had not yet celebrated her 10th birthday when she was just 9 years old, that she was packed off to train in the United States. And dear students, it was either his wish or not, we don't find, but she was just 9 years old when she was taken from her birthplace, from her own native place to United States for the training for tennis. Who took her there? What efforts she put there? We know she is successful. And who was behind her all the time in order to encourage and motivate her? Let's see. A trip to Florida with her father, Yuri, launched her on the path to success and stardom. And dear students, he was none but her own father, who helped her, who encouraged her, who motivated her, who was working hard in order to meet all her needs to complete the training. And so he was the one who took this little 9-year-old girl to Florida, United States. And there she was now going to start the training. And that was the background. That was the first thing that she required, and she took the first step in order to become the most successful woman in the world that time in 2005. Let's see her journey from the beginning to the destination. That trip to Florida with her father Yuri, the name of her father is Yuri, launched her on the path to success and stardom. But it also required a heart-wrenching 2-year separation from her mother Elena. And her mother's name is Elena. Father's name is Yuri. And there she, at very early age in her childhood, she had separated herself from her mother Elena. Elena was there in Russia, but she was there in United States with her father. Father was working and earning for Maria, and she was going under the training in tennis. But mother was not there. How did they spend the time? How she must be feeling? Just being 9 years old girl away from her mother. You can understand. And so here it says that it required a heart-wrenching 2-year separation from her mother, Elena. The latter was compelled to stay back in Siberia because of visa restrictions. And finally, he had to compulsorily stay back in Siberia because there were some visa restrictions. Even nowadays, you know, passport, visa restrictions are always there. They are the matters being faced by the people in order to travel abroad. And there she faced and had to stay compulsorily back in Siberia. The reason was visa restriction. Do you know about visa passports? I think you must be knowing, and many of you must have your passports, right? Yes, dear students. Hello, are you there? Anybody? Very good. Then the 9-year-old girl had already learned an important lesson in life, that tennis excellence would only come at a price. And dear students, if you remember Dr. Kalam's father's words, that the children, when he had addressed, to Dr. Kalam's wife, he mentioned that they have come through us, and we cannot impose our thoughts on them. They have their own life to live. And he also told that as a seagull, flies in the sky but keeps watch, right? Similarly, and they have also to go away from one place to another in order to succeed. And then Dr. Kalam was allowed to go at the district place for his higher education. And here also, this Maria, just being a 9-year-old girl, had learned one important lesson in her life. And what was it? That tennis excellence would only come at a price. And if you want to gain something excellent, if you want to be an expert and achieve the excellent and the highest summit in any field, you have to pay for that. Pay for that doesn't mean just you pay money. That is not what here she means. You have to, come at a price. Means you need to take some effort. You need to take all the required things to be successful in the field. And so here, Maria says, just being a 9-year-old girl, that tennis excellence would only come at a price. And that what price is she referring to? You will see here. Here, price doesn't mean here, students, money just, right? It's not merely about money, but that is something different. That's what she is now going to elaborate in detail. Are you understanding, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, number 3 paragraph.
Yes, sir.
Very good, dear Kushal. Be responsive. I used to be so lonely, Maria Sharapova recalls. I miss my mother terribly. My father was working as much as he would to keep my tennis training going. So he couldn't see me either. And here she says, just being 9-year-old, all alone in United States, Florida. There she had gone with her father. Father had engaged himself completely because he had to work very hard in order to earn sufficient money to fulfill the need of Maria. And Maria was there all alone. And even father could not get enough time to see even Maria. And that way she was also completely busy in her schedule of the tennis training. So this way, mother in Siberia, Russia that time, and also father busy in working all the time and could not get time to see Maria. And Maria is there all alone, going under the training. Just a 9-year-old girl, you can just imagine. But she learned that lesson, that if she wants to get an excellent, like if you want an excellent remark, you must score higher. And to score high, you just need to pay a price. It doesn't mean money, but that is study, the exercise. And that's what she refers to, the price. Number 4 paragraph, page number 105. Let's see. Because I was so young, I used to go to bed at 8 p.m. The other tennis people would come in at 11 p.m. and wake me up and order me to tidy up the room and clean it. And being all alone in the training center, father is not there and he had even not that much time to spend with, not to see her. Mother in another country, this lonely girl was allowed to go to bed at 8 p.m. by these superintendents over there in the training center. Because she was just 9 years old, so young girl. But, her seniors, other pupils, being with her, used to come at 11 p.m. in the same room where she was and used to get her up, used to wake her up and used to order her to tidy up and clean the room, everything at 11 p.m. dear students. How troublesome it was. A child who slept 8 p.m. and just after 3 hours, someone wakes her up and asks her to clean up everything in the room and tidy it up. Is it good? Isn't it like a bullying? Right, dear students? Isn't it? Wasn't she harassed by those tennis people who were senior to her? Of course, she was.
Yes, sir.
Then how long did it continue? Did she find some other way to come out of it or just tolerate it? Let's see. Instead of letting that depress me, I became more quietly determined and mentally tough. I learned how to take care of myself. I never thought of quitting because I knew what I wanted. When you come from nothing and you have nothing, then it makes you very hungry and determined. I would have put up with much more humiliation and insults than that to steadfastly pursue my dream. And she is not just being troubled by them, nor by herself. She doesn't get depressed and disappointed about those tennis pupils, those who were senior to her. But she used to simply get up at 11 p.m. when they were coming and was really cleaning and tidying up everything at home. But she never lose her hope. Rather, she became more quietly determined and strengthened mentally tough, she says. And she used to learn how to care herself. Being just 9-year-old girl, she was looking after everything. Getting up herself early in the morning, taking care, washing the clothes and all, what things were there that she could do. And in addition to that, there were these tennis people who used to order her to clean up the room. And that too she was doing happily, but never got disappointed. Because she knew, she says, that she was not going to quit at all. And she had been there just to achieve the excellence in tennis. And she knew that she had learned already a lesson that she had to pay the price. And this is the price, dear students. That she was going through all these difficulties happily and being more hungry and determined for her excellence in tennis. The hard work, the more motivation she was gaining after she was going through these difficulties and the trouble. And so she says, I would have put up with much more humiliation and insults than that to steadfastly pursue my dream. And she says that insults, this humiliation, that was the only cause I could get my dream fulfilled earlier. And I would have put up, with much more humiliation if I was knowing that I could get my success earlier. If I was knowing that the excellence could be achieved easily and in a very short time, she was ready to face and accept all these kinds of humiliating insults that she was going through, all those kinds of difficulties. She had made herself mentally prepared to face these difficulties and accept them and come over them, not to retreat at all. And this way she is sharing her experience since she was just a 9-year-old girl and was going under the training in United States. Then the number 6 paragraph says, that toughness runs through Maria even today. It was the key to her bagging the women's singles crown at Wimbledon in 2004 and to her meteoric rise to the world #1 spot the following year. And as already that in 2005 she became the #1 tennis player in women's tennis in 2005. And before that, she had already owned many women, single crowns. Even one of them is at Wimbledon in 2004, and so on. And she credits and she is thankful to those sufferings she had gone through when she was just 9-year-old girl. And she remembers those things very well even today. Like you know that Dr. Kalam remembered his first wage that he had earned even after half of the century. So childhood is the most important in building up and developing the personality and the future of the person. And so here it is, as far as Maria is concerned. So while her journey from the frozen plains of Siberia to the summit of women's tennis had stirred the hearts of tennis fans, for the youngster herself, there appears to be no room for sentiment. The straight looks and the answers she gives when asked about her ambition make it amply clear that she considers the sacrifices were worth it. I'm very, very, very competitive. I work hard at what I do. It's my job. This is her mantra for success. And dear students, here she doesn't blame those people, those who had troubled her, but rather she says that that trouble, those suffering, made her strong enough mentally and physically and encouraged her to achieve this success in her life. And she finds it worth that she paid for. The trouble that was there in her life did not discourage her, but rather encourage to put more efforts, to make more efforts and achieve the success that she wanted, the excellence in tennis. And whenever she is asked the questions, she is always there to answer the questions with the straight answers, because she knows what sacrifices that she had done in her early childhood, and she finds then that they were the must that time. If she had not sacrificed, if she had not gone through those troublings and the sufferings, she might not have been successful. Even in the Bhag Milkha Bhag movie, how he had been troubled by other fellows and how he got inspiration from them only and finally succeeded. There are many instances in many movies or some videos you must have watched on social media as well. And so here he says that I'm very, very competitive and I work hard at what I do. It's my job. And she never says that she works hard just because she's required, but it is her job to work hard, and then only she can be successful in this competition in the world. And this is the mantra for her success that she says. Understanding, your students? Everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Then, though Maria Sharapova speaks with a pronounced American accent, she proudly parades her Russian nationality. Clearing all doubts, she says, I'm Russian. It's true that the US is a big part of my life, but I have Russian citizenship. My blood is totally Russian. I'll play the Olympics for Russia if they want me. And you know that she went to America, United States, there she completed her training, but is playing on Russian behalf. And for her own country she plays. And as she spent her childhood most of the time there in America, so the way she speaks is little having that accent of America. The way those people in America speak, that accent she follows, because she spent much time there. And it usually happens that our human body adapts the places, the circumstances where we live. And there she proudly parades that she is Russian and her nationality is also Russian. And there should be no doubt at all that she may play in future for America. No, she won't play for US. Even if she believes that US has been very much contributing in order to develop and build herself in this field of tennis. But she is very sure about her nation and her citizenship, and she wants that she should play only for her own country, and that is Russia. And she says that if Russian people want, she will definitely play the Olympics also for Russia. Understanding, dear students? This is her patriotism for her nation. Otherwise, we people in India mostly, what do? They complete their education here, they seek for jobs opportunities in other countries, and they go there and settle themselves there only. Almost 60% people in America at some higher post, at higher designations, they are Indian. Even you know that there will be now the election polling for President of America, and there is a lady. What is her name? Harris, Kamala Harris. She has been nominated as for the Vice President. Do you know, dear students, Kamala Harris? So these people from India, they have been there again and again because they find it very attractive, the US, and they settle themselves there only. But here, Maria Sharapova, who had been there in America right from her childhood, but she says, no, she is not American, she is Russian, because natively she is from there, and she has that patriotism in her. Understanding, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Even Chinese people, their people go abroad and work for other countries. Chinese government pay every penny, each paisa, if we say, for the education of children or the people in China. But they ask in return for every paisa if a child or if a person wants to go abroad and work. That is their culture, and so they have been able to develop themselves in a very short of time, and being nowadays a developed nation. You know, that is their patriotism for their nation. And they have developed every alternative for everything that is there in the world, be it about social media, be it about anything. They produce their own and they make it available for the other people. Like even COVID, it was started there, and they are there now providing and supplying masks, even those PPE kits, everything to the world, and are earning, making money too much. Anyway, you understood the patriotism of Maria Sharapova here for her nation?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good. So this is paragraph number 9 now. Like any number of teenage sensations, Maria Sharapova lists fashion, singing, and dancing as her hobbies. So her hobbies are fashion. You must have watched now in the video that how she is. Also, she enjoys singing and also likes to dance. She loves reading the novels of Arthur Conan Doyle. This is the author that she is most fond of, and she loves reading those novels written by Arthur Conan Doyle. Her fondness for sophisticated evening gowns appears at odds with her love of pancakes with chocolate spread and fizzy orange drink. So here it is meant that her love or her fondness for sophisticated evening gowns that she likes. And those who like such gowns, they don't like such things like pancakes and chocolate spread and fizzy orange things. That is the contrast here the author found, and so here the author mentions that her fondness for sophisticated evening gowns appears at odds with her love of pancakes with chocolate spread and fizzy orange drink. Right? So these are her likes, hobbies, and we come to know what are the things that she is fond of. Then number 10, is it all about her life? No, she is doing more than that also. What is it? Let's see. Maria Sharapova cannot be pigeonholed or categorized. You know, she is not just a short-minded, that she is being self-centered and doing everything for herself. But she is also thinking of, as you already understood, for her nation. But also she is there always to sacrifice her life for the other people who are suffering from many difficulties. Let's see how does she contribute for them. Her talent, unwavering desire to succeed, and readiness to sacrifice have lifted her to the top of the world. Few would grudge her the riches she is now reaping. This is what she has to say about her monetary gain from tennis. Of course, money is a motivation. Tennis is a business and a sport, but the most important thing is to become number one in the world. That is the dream that kept me going. And dear students, one more important thing. She says that she became the number one. Was that enough for her? She got excellence in tennis. Was that enough for her? No. And at last, she says here that money is motivation. Yes, she is playing tennis for earning money, no doubt. That is her motivation. What is the motivation for her? Money that she earns. Then tennis is business, and she earns money by playing tennis, and so tennis is her business and a sport, of course. But the most important thing that she mentions here is to become number one in the world. That is a pleasure that she gets. And to maintain the position being number one is again a quite difficult task. But she wants it all the time. And so she says that is the thing to become number one in the world that she dreams of, and that kept her going and making efforts and be continuous in the field of tennis. Understanding, dear students? What is her motivation? Money is her motivation. What is her business or the sport? Tennis is the business out of which she earns money. And most important thing that she says in her life is to become number one in the world. And she became finally in 2005. Understood?
Yes, sir.
So as you know, Santosh Yadav was not content, even if her name was Santosh, which means contentment. But she wanted little bit more, and therefore Maria Sharapova is also more, but on the top to become number one in the world. That is her dream all the time, and so she keeps going and going and going all the time, and trying to remain number one in the world in the women's tennis. Understood? Yes, dear students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good. So again, shortly I'll tell you from the bottom to the top, and then we'll discuss about Maria Sharapova and Santosh Yadav. So firstly, we know that she has been very successful in her life and was also the number one in the world in women's tennis. And she says that she earns money by playing tennis. So money is her motivation, but tennis is her business. But the most important thing that she mentions is to become number one in the world. Her hobbies are fashion, singing, and dancing. What is she loving more? Reading the novels of Arthur Conan Doyle. And what are the two things found contrasted or odds in her hobbies or in her life? That she likes sophisticated evening gowns, but she also likes pancakes with chocolate spread and fizzy orange drink. So that is something odd the author finds. Then she has shown her patriotism for her nation, saying that even she spent much time in America, but she always wants to play for Russia, and she loves her nation very much, and she also wants to play Olympics for Russia. And there again, she says that whatever trouble or the suffering she had there in her earlier life, she says that they were required, they were important, they were must. And she was not depressed, not disappointed with them, but she was encouraged, motivated, and was more determined to put extra efforts to achieve her success, to achieve excellence in tennis, right? And you know how a 9-year-old girl was all alone, even if her father was there, but all the time he was busy in working, and she was there in the training center where the tennis pupils, the senior one, used to wake her up and were ordering her to tidy up the room and clean it. She was allowed to go to bed at 8 p.m. Her mother's name is Elena and father's name is Yuri. And finally, this is again as the story began. That Monday, 22nd August 2005, then she became the number one in the position in women's tennis, right? Now let's see here. Can you try to match this following? Something disarming at odds with. What is it? What do you think it means? Something disarming at odds with. Can anyone answer? Something that makes you feel friendly? No. Is it an attractive and exciting clothes? No. Then what is it? It is in contrasting to or not agreeing with. Understood, dear students?
Yes, sir.
Second,
Yes, sir.
glamorous attire. What is it? Attractive and exciting clothes. Right? In almost no time means quickly, almost immediately. Understood? Getting there, students?
Yes, sir.
Then poised beyond her years, more calm, confident, and in control than people of her age usually are. Then packed off, that is sent off, right? Launched, that is started. And heart reaching is, what is it? Something that makes you feel friendly, taking away your suspiciousness. Right, dear students?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now here are the questions. You please try to answer them. This is already 11:50. We will quickly finish with these question answers. It may not take much time. Hardly 5 minutes will take. Can we continue, dear students? Are you ready for more 5 minutes to be connected here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, one by one. Why was Maria sent to the United States? Simple answer. Can you answer, dear students? Anyone? For the training in tennis, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you find it here or not? Here it is, no? In paragraph number 2. She was packed off to train in the United States, right? Got it? Yes or no? Yes, dear students?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Then the next,
Yes.
next is, why didn't her mother go with her? Her mother did not go there with her. What was the reason? Can you find it here in this text? Yes or no? Can you find the reason that mother did not go with her? Come on, anybody, say something.
Visa restrictions. Due to the visa restrictions.
Really? Is it about visa restrictions for her mother, or she had to stay back for 2 years? What do you think it is?
Sir, it's written in the text.
Yeah, very good. Dear Akansha, you have mentioned it correctly, that because of visa restrictions. Can you see here in the same paragraph number 2, that the latter was compelled to stay back in Siberia because of visa restrictions. Got it? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Then the next is, what are her hobbies? What does she like? Yes, we have already discussed at the bottom. I'll tell you and show you again. And what motivates her to keep going? That also is there at the bottom of this text. Her hobbies are fashion, singing and dancing. And what does she like to do? She loves reading the novels of Arthur Conan Doyle, and her fondness is also about sophisticated evening gowns and also pancakes with chocolate spread and fizzy orange drink, right? And what is the thing that keeps her going? That's the thing. That's the dream. That's the dream means what? To become number 1 in the world. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Yes,
Now
sir.
here we will compare Santosh Yadav with Maria Sharapova. Okay?
Sir, time's over.
Yes, but only 5 qualities are there. In a minute, we'll just discuss. Their humble beginning, Santosh Yadav, did she have humble beginning? Is it contrasting or matching? Did they both have humble beginning? What do you say? Yes. None of them was, dominant nor stubborn. They began in a very modest way, and so their humble beginning, yes. So their parents' approach, Santosh Yadav parents' approach was negative, contrasting, whereas Maria Sharapova's parents' approach was positive, right? Their willpower and strong desire to succeed, yes, both of them had equal strong power and desire. Evidence of their mental toughness, yes, both are mentally tough. You know the examples. And their patriotism, yes, both of them have their own patriotism. Maria Sharapova had a patriotism for her country, Russia. You know how? That she wants to play all the time for Russia only and also the Olympics. And Santosh Yadav, that she unfurled, our tricolor, the flag, on the top of the world, on the top of the roof of the world. That is the highest peak in the world, Mount Everest. Right, dear students? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Any query, any doubt? Want to share something?
No, sir. No doubt.
I'm really thankful to you. You have given me 6-7 minutes extra so that we could discuss the question and the answers. I'll share with you these answers also. You please write them as and when possible as per your convenience. Right?
Yes, sir.
So that's it for today. Thank you so much, dear students. Have a great day ahead. Bye. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.